Welcome back to Mommy Rebellion. And if you want to see more of these videos, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and the little dingy bell if you want to know every time we have a new video, which is usually Thursdays. So you can just plan on that too. Today, we're talking about holidays in 2020 and how they are not going to look like they did in 2019. And today, I'm with my amazing VA, the boo behind Mommy Rebellion, how all this stuff gets done, Lisa. And she also does amazing work helping people have the calendars that support them, that make them feel good, that make them have time to do what they want to do and not just all the shit we have to do. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be back.
I'm so happy to have you. So, holidays, this is coming out right before Halloween. I know that a lot of communities are trying to figure out how to make trick-or-treating safe. And I'm sure every parent is having to decide whether they think that those things are safe or whether, like in my house, we're just kind of bowing out of the whole thing. How's it going on in Alabama? What's the vibe?
Well, the vibe is all over the place. And it's very just like chaotic feeling almost because they're like people are just across the spectrum on like not like just acting like everything's totally okay, like going about like their life very freely, and then there's people that are like super paranoid. So it's like it's just everything. So it's really still very hard to know what to do, what's right, what's not right. So with Halloween, it feels like a lot of people aren't doing as much, but there still is, like I've heard of a couple of people doing like their traditional trick-or-treating, like in the neighborhood, door to door.
Yeah.
I've seen like churches down here, they do trunk or treat. So it's like so I've seen that those are still going on. I don't think as many like churches and as much stuff is going on, but it is still going on. But I've decided just to not do it. Usually every year we do both because it's just fun, but I just decided not to do it this year. So instead we're having like Halloween party at my mom's house with my nephews, and like we went to the Dollar Tree and got like glow sticks and like silly string and just like like little things like that. And so that's how we're gonna celebrate this year.
Yeah, we're doing something similar. We're getting together with one other family and we're carving pumpkins. And I think they're cooking s'mores and hot dogs on sticks. And we can dress up or not. And then some of my girls, as they've gone to their Girl Scout meetings, they've been able to dress up. And my 12-year-old Girl Scouts is having a murder mystery. So the cadets are putting it on, and then the juniors and the troop have to figure out who killed the cadet. And so they get to dress up in costume for that. And I've seen some drive-through trunk-or-treating that people have talked about going around locally. But we're pretty much just going to skip it. My kids do not need that much candy. It would just be feeding the pigs anyway. And the big thing that they look forward to every year is where my husband works. And they probably have about 500 employees. I don't know exactly.
Wow.
But they usually do before Halloween. It's usually the Thursday before Halloween. They have the kids come in costume and they go around to like each of the different stations, and each department decks it out differently with a theme. And the cafe will make, popcorn balls and all kinds of different things and hot cider. And that's really what my kids look forward to. And I've been telling them since April that wasn't going to happen. It's mainly a call center. So they've been working remotely this whole time because that's a super spreading event, right? A call center. So it's just, I've been telling the kids the whole time. And I'm kind of sad a little bit because this is like the only year I could dress up the little one without her having an opinion. And I had decided right after she was born, I'd found some patterns online to make her baby Yoda. And then my husband had gotten a 3D printer, so he was going to be the Mandalorian. And so we were going to walk around.
Oh my God, that is so cute.
With him as the Mandalorian and her as the child. And that's not happening, and it's okay, but it was just like,
you're like,
maybe next year we can convince her of that. We'll see. But by then she'll have opinions.
I can't imagine her putting the little thing on because what she'll be
Well,
like
it's a
one.
hat. So it's a hat that's got the ears on it. And then it was like a little
Yeah,
robe. And then there were like things to put on hands and feet, which I wasn't sure she was going to keep those on anyway,
that's true.
being
That's true.
almost 9 months old. Yeah, she's getting good at removing.
She's getting sassy.
She is. A friend of mine had grabbed a cute little white onesie with Halloween cats on it and little ears. So Monday, when my troop was dressing up for Halloween, that's what I threw her in. But
Perfect. Yeah, it's weird with like the whole like of course Halloween is just the warm up right to the holiday
yep.
season, but it's kind of weird because it's like part of me is a little bit relieved. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't have to do quite as much, or
Yep.
whatever. And it's a little bit fun trying to figure out different things to do. But there is like a sense of sadness. And like, I think I'm more sad. Like, so the fair comes to town every year.
Yep.
Like, it was just here. And it's literally like right down the street from us. And so we like see it. And I was just like, I don't know why we're having the fair. This does not,
Mhm.
like, I mean, it was like limited capacity. You had to wear a mask, blah, blah. But we didn't go. We go every
Yep.
year. We didn't go. I was so, like, I'm more sad about not being able to go to the fair. And then like last year was the first year we went to this, like the zoo does a thing and they have like a scary side and like a kid side.
Oh,
And so
cool.
last year was the first time Charlie went on the scary side. And it's not like real scary, but it was like a good enough scary and he loved it. And so I wanted to do like another scary thing. But like and I had some friends going, but I was just like, I can't do it. So
Yeah, I think we're gonna watch like Hocus Pocus and some of those things in this weekend time. Because that's on Disney Plus, so that's super easy to do. And I've never actually seen Hocus Pocus.
I
Um,
don't think I have either. So
and
it's
I
like,
think
oh,
our family celebration is going to be Sunday night, where we're going to set a plate for the ancestors, and we're going to
oh,
cook. Yeah, so my kids, have been like, well, let's celebrate it as Samhain. What's the traditional stuff? So we're gonna probably do at least pork and lamb and probably some chicken. And these are all animals that we've either helped butcher or were our animals. Because traditionally it's like the first harvest meal. So, just sort of like a Thanksgiving, but turkey's not required. And my turkeys are not in the freezer yet anyway. So, but, you know.
that's cool because like
And we're going to watch Coco because that seems appropriate.
yeah, yeah. I didn't put together the ancestral thing. I'm totally gonna do that though. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. And then the
Yeah.
full moon, the full moon's on Saturday.
Exactly, right. And we're going to pull out some of the photographs I have of ancestors, and maybe
Oh,
we'll
that's
find the places
great.
we're going to put them up in the house because we've been really bad about hanging photos. That the photo thingies kept disappearing. So every time I wanted to hang pictures, I couldn't find it. Problems of a household of 7. So yeah,
Right.
that's kind of what we're doing for Halloween. And then for us, normally Thanksgiving we spend at friends, and we usually have dinner. We kind of go back and forth between two sets of friends who we have dinner with, but regardless, we end up at the one set of friends' house by 4 o'clock playing board games, and it's been like a tradition. There's one particular board game we tend to play every year, and we go to their house for board games and pies. We make extra pies, and so there's usually like, I don't know, at least 6, maybe as much as a dozen different pies, and we eat pie and play board games. The kids watch a Christmas movie, and I don't see how that can happen this year. And it's kind of
Uh,
sad because I usually give this family a game as their Christmas present on Thanksgiving so we can all play it. And I'm not seeing how that can happen. And
yeah.
there's some
That's
stuff
sad.
locally that one of the botanical gardens, they usually either do it for Halloween or they used to do it before Thanksgiving. It was this turkey hunt, and they'd hide apples in the garden, and certain ones would get you a free turkey, and other ones would get you like maybe a pie making kit, or like there were different things. And then there was a golden one that would get you like a full tank of oil, and the silver one that would get you a cord of wood. And the kids would all race, and that kind of stuff just can't happen this year.
Yeah, I don't think I realized like how many like traditions that we had around this time of year. Like, I don't think I really thought about that so much. And then now that we can't really do a lot of them, it's like, oh, we did. Isn't that interesting? I was like, we did more than I thought we did because
Yeah.
it's not like, honestly, I don't like Christmas. Like I feel like that's my dirty little secret,
No,
but I
it's
don't
okay.
like it's
For
too
me, it's
much
wrapped
for
up with
me.
my birthday and everyone forgetting because I'm December 28th. So I'm right between Christmas and New Year's. Usually everybody's out of town. Even now that I'm an adult with adult girlfriends, it's still hard to get everyone together because we'll have
Yeah.
snow or whatever. And I hate combination gifts. Don't tell me it's for my birthday and Christmas. Like if you're only gonna give me one thing, it better be for my birthday, you know?
As I'm making a note.
That's just how I feel. And it also kind of sucks because it means you get all your gifts at that one point of the year.
Yeah.
And then you have so I teased my husband, and that's why we had to get married in June, was because I wanted to get presents that wasn't
You need to spread it out.
right, that wasn't right there. And I've got a one of my daughters was born in late January, and then I've got this new February one. And so it kind of sucks for them, but I kind of like it because I can see what went over well for Christmas. And that helps me decide what they're getting for their birthday.
Yeah, because Charlie's birthday's in late January, so it's
Yeah.
the same thing. Because if he wants a bunch of stuff for Christmas but he can't get it all, I'm like, it's okay. Your birthday's coming up. Like, don't
Yep.
worry. So it does make the birthday like easier to like think of things to get him that he really wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then you can see whether the stuff that they got at Christmas went over well, because
Right?
sometimes they don't really know what they're asking for. But yeah.
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 So for us, well, I mean, our Christmas has always been pretty much just our family. We often get together with another family sometime between Christmas and New Year's just because everybody's off, and it's sort of just lazy couch, drink tea, let the kids play with the new Christmas toys, kind of share a meal, low chilled kind of thing. And that's pretty much it because we don't have any nearby family. My parents and brother are out in Ohio, and all of my hubby's family are in New Zealand, Australia, or some distant relatives are in the British Isles. So like we're not so for us Christmas and Christmas Eve is about calling people, like talking to people internationally. Um and then yeah, so I don't think there's a lot of disappointment for us about not being able to be with family because that's not really what we do anyway, but there are certainly some traditional parties that we're not going to get to do. And I've been trying to rethink Advent. So the kids and I like to come up with a list of activities we want to do from like Thanksgiving to Christmas or New Year's. And then we kind of like put them on each day. And sometimes it's just like watch a Christmas movie. Like it doesn't have to be crazy. But the favorite last year was a local, semi-local candy shop let you come and make candy canes.
Oh, that's
And the
really
kids
cool.
got to watch them make it, and then they got to make their own. Nobody made a candy cane design, but they got to make their own, you know, candy canes. And they got like, I think they each got like four. I mean, it was super affordable. It was really cool. And afterward, everybody was like, we want to do that again. And I'm like, that's not going to happen this year.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think about like, what can we do besides making wreaths? That we didn't get to do last year that I've got all the supplies for. Like, what
There you
can
go.
we do, to make it fun that isn't, I mean, in my family, I don't want to make a ton of Christmas cookies, but like just trying to think about what can we do to make it fun, but
Yeah,
not really be doing it with a lot of other people.
that's kind of like the same thing I'm on too. So I love Thanksgiving and I love New Year's Eve. Like New Year's Eve is my favorite holiday. That is my
Yeah.
jam. And then I feel like Christmas is just like the shit in the middle. I gotta get through. But like I'm trying to do better every year of like releasing. Well, I don't like Christmas as it feels so like so much pressure, and I don't
Yeah.
like. So every year I'm doing better about like just like letting go of the shit I don't have to do. Like
Yeah.
now I send my friends New Year's Eve gifts and like, like get Charlie's presents ahead of time, blah, 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 like figure
Right.
all
And
those
like I was
systems
telling
out.
you before the call that my kids have to say what they want for Santa by Halloween. Santa and his elves need time to make it. That helps with a lot of the pressure. Um, because I don't have to be in the stores. And I mean, I've done a lot of online ordering for years just because I've got a big family and
Same. I mean, I don't have a big family, but
and
yeah, online.
I try to spread gift buying. Like if I see something for a child, I try and grab it so that I'm spreading that out as far as my budget's concerned
I'm
too.
impressed. I can never be. I wish I was that organized, but I'm just not. Like I can organize the shit out of your business, but I cannot organize my gift giving.
I'm not awesome. I'm not awesome, but it would be a good idea to do one of your chores before you watch more TV. um, so yeah, are you getting any sense from Charlie whether he is sad about the holidays being different, or if he's even aware of that yet?
I mean, he keeps a tight lock on his feelings. Like it's so funny because I'm all about feelings and he's just like I'm like I gotta like pull it out of him, you know. Yeah, he's bummed about like not trick-or-treating and like, you know, so he is bummed about stuff, but he really is just so resilient. He's like, yeah, that stinks, but what can he do? You know, it's amazing. So I really am just trying to think of like other like more creative things we can do. Like the other day we got on line and we were like looking up like just weird stuff to do in Alabama, right? Like those weird things that you don't ever think of. So like we have like a list of those things. So try to like, that's a good idea about that advent calendar, like doing stuff. So maybe we can do that. And like I feel like I'm really just trying to like I take the same holidays off as you do, which works out great. And Chase is like a champion for like she's like, you need to take time off, like, did you work ahead? It's amazing, you're awesome in that way. And so I'm like just to really take time off and like really be present with Charlie and like enjoy the holidays, you
and
know?
not come back the day after New Year's. Like I don't do that either. I mean, this year it
No.
works well because it's lining up right by a weekend, but
Yeah, and then even taking that, I always try to take that first week back light because it's like rough,
I do
you know?
too, because like my kids are in shock.
And so am I. Like I'm just like,
Yeah. And I
reality.
have no idea. I mean, my husband is definitely home until the end of the year. I suspect they're going to extend it, but we don't know officially yet whether he'll be still in the house or not. So yeah.
Yeah. So then like for our Christmas and stuff, like we kind of just do stuff like with my family and then like Charlie's dad's family will go up there. So we don't really like do a ton of like big events anyway. So I feel like Christmas will kind of be the same, but like we did get invited to like an extended families Thanksgiving thing and we decided not to go because it's just a lot of people that are coming and stuff like that. So I feel like it's not too different. It's like it's weird because it's not like drastically different, but it's different enough to like really make you take notice. And it just feels like the continued of the like slowed down pace, right? And I guess that's kind of weird because I'm used to just like rushing through the holidays, like, and so it's like, oh wow, here's my chance to like slow down and maybe potentially enjoy them a little bit more. So I'm trying to stay in that mindset.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I like about when we sit down and think about the Advent is that I ask the kids what they want to do. Because, like, what I might think, and I've talked about this on Mommy Rebellion before, but what I might think is something everyone wants to do, they might not be into this year. So
Man, Chase, you should share your Advent calendar because I'm like, I mean, I know
there's a blog post. You can go dig and find it. And
I'm going to
stick it in the newsletter. There's a blog post where I talk about this.
I'm gonna put it in this description too.
Yeah. Okay, well then you can't do them right now while I'm on the call. So you could have. You know how to do doorknobs and light switches? Just get a spray bottle and you wipe everything down.
She's like, what?
And then the other thing that I've been thinking about, and maybe we can do this on another call. I'd love to. I've been trying to think about how to make January feel good this year, because regardless of what happens with the election and everything else, we're still gonna be dealing with a pandemic, and not where you live, but where I live, we're gonna be probably buried in snow and starting to get grouchy. And so I've been trying to think now of what I can do to make January more fun. So I already know that our secret sister group that we do is going to happen in January instead of in front of the holidays. We all decided that felt really good. And then I've joined an online knitting class thing. And so I've got yarn for that, and that won't get shipped till January. So that'll be like Christmas in a box when that comes. So I've just been kind of thinking about some of that. My eldest daughter's Girl Scout troop, instead of doing Secret Santa in December, they did it in January last year, and they did it for a whole month. And each week had a theme. So like one week you gave your secret sister a hat, and another week you gave her some lip balm, and another week you gave her candy. And then at the end it was like the big reveal and surprise and stuff. And they loved it. These were all teenage girls, and they just thought this was the best thing ever. Yes, and I totally did the shopping for it when I did my regular Christmas shopping, because I knew that this one was incoming.
That's
and
right.
my daughter actually gave a bunch of her gifts ahead to the leader in case she couldn't make it because her due date was in January. Yes, and I know that they ended up going into February because of snow dates, but they just loved it. And so I think that we may be doing similar stuff like in my troop and stuff, because it kind of gives you something to look forward to after all that holiday craziness.
Yeah, that is a really good idea, because hi baby. Because like I said, I love the New Year's, and so I send friends New Year's gifts, and then Charlie's birthday is in January. But to like deepen it a little bit, like how can January be like
luscious and
really
luxurious,
fun. Yeah.
And
luxurious, that's it. There you go.
Because I'm guessing with New Year's you're doing a lot of visioning for the next year.
Yeah,
because I know that's your jam anyway.
Yeah,
and
Nikki's
I didn't do that last year because I had a baby incoming.
That's
I was
right.
like, I can't.
You're like, that is the vision.
Exactly. But I'm even, I'm thinking about how do I want that to look this year? How do I want that to feel? Being realistic that this one will probably be walking and getting into absolutely everything more than you're getting into right this moment.
She's like,
so my time,
no,
my time's gonna be in even
like,
smaller pockets, right?
Yeah, mama. Yeah, I'm so excited. Nikki, Starcat Shields, she comes into my business group and she does the vision boards for the new year, and she's so amazing at it. So I'm really excited. So it's like perfect time. Yeah, I just feel like I need to do a post, which I talked to my other client Tam about this, and because she read my chart, my astrology chart, and she was like, you need to create a lot of creativity in your life. And I was like, I feel blocked on creativity. Like I just don't know what to do. And when you're talking about the advent calendar, I was like, I almost feel like I need to do a post like, give me some unique creative ideas, and then like that could be the things that we're doing. Like it doesn't have to be money, it doesn't it's just like little things, but I can't, like I've just blocked.
For years we had some friends whose kids were always like in choir, and so they always had like relatively inexpensive Christmas wreaths, and so we would just buy it to support them. And last year everybody had like aged out, they'd all graduated or whatever, and my kids missed the wreath. Well, we've got some evergreens on our land now, and so I just bought the frames from like Joann's and some wire, and we didn't get to it because I was pregnant and tired.
You're very pregnant.
But I've still got it, and so I've told them we can definitely do that. Like that's super easy. We can make a couple of wreaths and put them up. Because I don't know whether we're doing a live tree this year. It was not difficult to get live trees in Maine last year, but I hear it was everywhere else in the country. So I don't know on that, but I like kind of doing the adventures. I mean, one of the favorite things that may still be able to happen because they're kind of in our pod, my kids love making gingerbread creations with another family. Like that's one of the things that they're like, yeah, we want to do that during the holidays. And it doesn't have to happen before Christmas necessarily. I think you can do it anytime before you're back to regular life. But that's fun, and that can be fun when you're doing it with more than just your family, because you can take turns helping the little kids. You can spread the cost of the fun candy. You can
Yeah, that's
spread
a
it
good idea.
around to make it more fun, or you can just do it out of graham crackers. Like,
Yeah. Like I'll probably get those cookies, they're already
hmm
sliced and you just
Yep.
like that's easy. But yeah, to do it with friends like that we're already kind of around and stuff, that's a good idea. And another thing that I've been thinking about, and it just coincides that it's the holiday season, it's not really
Yep.
because of it, but like a lot of times Charlie is a touch spoiled.
hmm
And I can't blame him because he doesn't know anything
Right.
else.
He
Full
doesn't
of
have a
love and
sibling, so
yeah, so I've wanted to start doing like volunteer stuff with him, like
hmm
taking him to go volunteer to open his
Yep.
mind up and so he can cultivate gratitude. But it's kind of hard with the pandemic because I was like, I don't know what to do or
hmm
whatever. But then so I was thinking for the holidays, like I always want to do it, but I never really do it. You know how you can like sponsor a kid or like
Yeah.
whatever.
Toys for
Like so
Tots
we're gonna
or the Angel. Yep. Angel Tree. Yep.
yeah. So we're gonna do that this year and like maybe try to think of something else that we can do kind
Yeah.
of like in the
We've
gratitude
had
aspect.
fun doing that. Sometimes my husband's work has put that together, and they've gotten specific kids, and then he takes our kids to Walmart or wherever and have them shop for what we're taking in. That can be a lot of fun too.
Yeah,
And then the other thing is, what about the local animal shelters? Like,
that's what
we've
I thought
done
too.
that both in scouts and just ourselves. We've made, like, if you've got any scrap fleece, you can make different toys and things. It doesn't just have to be food. And sometimes it's crazy things, like they need lots of paper towels or trash
Yeah.
bags, and.
And then even to go like because I think our animal shelter does a thing where you can like go volunteer to go walk the dogs or like
Yeah.
just go sit in the cat room and like play with them or whatever. So like maybe bring a little offering and then go play with the
Yeah.
animals. But I just feel
Yeah.
like, oh my God, that's dangerous. We're gonna come
That
home with
that can be dangerous. You might want to put some boundaries around that. And I'm sure someone's doing it where you are. I've got a friend who it's not for the children's hospital, it's for the psychiatric section of the children's hospital. She always talks to them, gets a list of what they're allowed to have, throws it up on Amazon. You can either grab it from Amazon or grab the same thing from someplace else. She has a day and they take it all down because nobody gives the kids in the psych ward gifts. Like, they're happy to give, all the kids with cancer tons and tons of stuff, but the kids that are in the mental health section get nothing. And that's something that we always do. Because some of the
wow,
stuff
that
is
is
only $5 or $10. So, I think last year I happened to be in Walmart and they had a bunch of different Uno decks. So at a really good price. And so I was able to like spend, a small amount of money, but then, know that there were these cool Uno decks going into the hospital for the kids to play with, so
yeah,
you
that's
can look around for some of that. Somebody may be already doing that. Um, and then that can be fun. You can go on a mission. Here's the list. Here's our budget. And then you get to,
yeah.
as the
Yeah.
homeschooler in me will remind you, you get to teach them budgeting skills while
I
you're
was just
doing.
thinking that. I was like, that's great to fucking have a budget before you go.
Well, we often do that. So my kids often do some sort of secret sister, secret Santa stuff in scouts. And there's always a limit, right? Because the troops want to make it fair for everybody. And so I don't recommend doing 4 kids at once. But and then what we're doing this year is we're doing secret sister among my 4 girls. We're not including the baby because
Oh,
she doesn't care yet. So on July 25th, 6 months to Christmas, they all pull the sister's name out of a hat, and that's their sister. And they have $25 to spend on their sister between then and Christmas, instead of like having them go to the dollar store and get everybody crappy stuff. Like, that's
yeah.
fun. This way they can give each other quality stuff, or they have time to make each other things. Or, and I'm hoping this is something that they'll continue when they're older. Like, I think that could be really fun as, adult women. Their budget will probably go up, but as adult women to be like, I get to, I'm going to spend I'm going to spend so much money showering this one sister.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love
And then, of
that. That's
course,
such a good.
I think the littles think they know who it is, and it's like they like try to guess. Like that's fun too.
Yeah, yeah,
And all
because
this
you're
stuff trying to
extending
figure
it
it out.
too. It's not just like
Yeah.
this week of whatever. It's like a months of anticipation.
Yep. Yep. And then we recently went to a fairly local, but a friend of ours owns it, business. And so, sometime in November, I'm going to get the remaining cash that they haven't spent out and put it in envelopes and take them down on a day that they're not busy and let them each kind of, you know, go and shop because they have a lot of stuff in their price range that's decent stuff, Um, I'd let them finish up their shopping for their secret sister doing that, and I get to support a local female-owned business. I get to, give
Yeah, it's
them
just a
choices
win.
of stuff that, so that they don't have to just spend it on one thing if they don't want to. There's a whole bunch of different stuff. Um, you
This
know.
is no, this is great. Look, I wrote down.
And so,
I'm
and
gonna
that
take
might
it.
actually end up being one of the things we do in that Advent period. That may just be like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like this has been such a great conversation because number one, I have these ideas, and
hmm
number two, it's like making me because honestly, I've been a little bit like late, like focused just on the week or the week I'm
yep,
in or whatever, and it's like, oh shit, the holidays are coming. I kind of don't want to think about it, so let's not think. And so I'm glad we're talking about this because it opens me up to thinking about it, which I
yep,
need. So I can plan ahead, and but more importantly, this conversation is bringing me to like the theme of like how I want to feel.
yeah.
And I want to feel gratitude
hmm
and like peace,
yeah,
and like so it seems like is this year particularly is a season of like creative holidays
yep,
and like fun like fun but like a like I don't know like a lighthearted fun.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's a great time to really dial down on gratitude and even just, I mean, my kids are probably going to want to do popcorn and cranberries for the birds, and, some of those, we often decorate a tree for the birds. Just throwing that out there as something, something else to look up for that you can do. But, I think if you stop and take a few moments and look at it now, you can have a lot more moments feeling what you want to feel during the holiday season than not. And I mean, I even kind of in my head, because my child keeps stealing everything of mine, know what like all my girlfriends are getting. I try to start thinking about that in the summer so that I'm not like, oh my God, what are we giving this family? Or oh my God, what am I giving this girlfriend? Um, Even if it's just an idea. And then again, it lets me spread it. It lets me spread the cost a little bit. Um, but it also gives you time to think so that you're not like, oh my God, I'm going to see them tomorrow and I don't have anything, like,
Yeah, oh my God, that is like my MO right there. I'm like, it's in the mail. It's in the mail. And then I got to go home and like order it.
yeah. hmm
I try to do better, but sometimes it just hits like that. But yeah, that's a good
I try
idea
to
too.
think of it as fun. Like I try not to be like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I have to. I try to like, and that's why I tend to start, thinking about it in the summer or even, just as we're coming into fall, like what would feel really nice to give that person or,
Yeah.
like the game that we give to the other family that was ordered a long time ago. It's been sitting in my house for a while. I can't wait to. It's the perfect game for them. I can't wait to figure out how I'm giving it to them.
Right, right. Yeah,
um,
I love that because I have like a core group of people
mhm.
that I give like like decent sized gifts
Yeah,
to, and then I have a bunch more people that I just make like little things. It's just more like kind of the thought that counts or whatever. So I even need to start with like identifying like who are those people again, and like who are those people
yeah, and then also thinking about, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to give them
Yeah,
cookie mixes in a jar, like, or because we often have Girl Scout leaders, so which is sort of like teachers, and I try to get the kids involved in that. So like some years we've made peppermint body butter, and we've given them that. One
Ooh.
year we made sugar with like lavender petals or mint in it, or a vanilla bean, or and so, and other years we've made candles. Like, I try to get them involved in those. But you can also think about, what do you want to do? Do you want to make a big batch of lip balm and give that to everybody? I mean, like, make
Yeah, again,
bath
it goes
salts,
into
and
the
like,
creative
again,
side.
it's the thought that counts. But if you're using natural ingredients, I don't think most of the time people are like, oh my God, I can't believe she gave me that. Like, I mean, or at least I have
Yeah.
never gotten that from other women. Maybe they're really good at hiding it, but
I know that's the other thing, is like, you want to get something that they're gonna use, like, and it takes a little forethought sometimes. So yeah, I mean, I'm pumped up, like, just to kind of get the brain swirling on, like, yeah, what do I want these people to feel from me? Well, of
yeah.
course. So
Yeah,
now
and
I'm
I'm really
excited.
thinking about, how can I make the holidays this year really hoogly, really, really cozy and warm, and reading nook. We found out last year that in Iceland, everyone gets a new book for Christmas Eve, and usually chocolate, and they stay up all night Christmas Eve reading their books and eating chocolate. We didn't do the chocolate last year, but we did make sure that each of the girls had a new book, and that's what they got to open Christmas Eve instead of pajamas. Yes.
What'd she say?
Can we get a new book this year too? Yeah.
Uh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, we still sent them to bed,
Yeah, right? Yeah, shit.
but I think as an adult, that's a great concept for Christmas Eve, curling up with a
Well,
new book
like,
and
yeah, then get your ass in bed.
a beverage of your choice and chocolate and go to bed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's perfect. I would, like, as an adult, that sounds wonderful. Even like those, like, Chase sent me a gift not too long ago, and they were the cutest socks, and it has a unicorn, and it says, like, kind of salty about not being a mermaid, because she knows I love
And
all
she's
things
putting
unicorn.
on the bottom
Yeah,
of a mermaid's. I
it's
just
so
randomly
cute.
saw that in a shop, and I was like, "That's Lisa. I'm buying it now because
I
that's what I
know.
do." I mean,
And
that's.
it was just perfect, but it was like the perfect size, like, of gift, because sometimes when you get a gift, you're like, oh shit, I gotta give them back something, but like, you try
Mm-hmm.
not to do that, but you can't help but feel that sometimes. So that was like the perfect size gift.
Give me a minute. I see a question in a minute. Yeah, no, and I like to try and do that. It just sometimes. Well, the one year I made you your own unicorn
Yeah.
headband, I
Oh
think
my god, I should have wore it.
you know, I try to get to know people that are in my circle like that well enough to be able to just kind of do that kind of thing.
Yeah, same here, man. If we do this again, you're gonna, because my unicorn thing is right in there, but like, I'm gonna have to wear that next time.
Well, I would love to have you back, like, to come out in January and talk about, how you're
How was
visioning
it?
the year. But we are just about at time for you. So I'm gonna, remind everybody to, do the YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe, follow the newsletter so that you know when we're coming out with more stuff. And thanks for being with me. It's been
Oh,
so
thank you.
much fun.
So much fun. So much fun.